Do you ever notice how a cook feels different when people are coming over? Same smoker, same meat, but suddenly there's pressure. You're checking your temps more, overthinking every decision, wondering if it's going to be good enough. And somehow, that's usually where it goes wrong. So why does cooking for other people feel so different? Today I thought I'd record this episode outside, because that's what it's about, is cooking outside. And yet I'm always sitting in the studio, better sound quality and all that. But I thought I'd sit out here and just do this outside. This is where I feel more comfortable, more at ease. I should be cooking something, but I'm not. So there is a difference between cooking alone versus cooking for others. The main one being when you're cooking by yourself, for yourself, there's no pressure. You could cook it relaxed. If you screw it up, you're the only one that's going to know. But when you're cooking for other people, that's where the pressure comes from. And it is a bit of pressure. It's the same if you're doing a competition or catering. You're cooking for other people, so you want to make sure you're doing your best. I think the shift in mindset when people are relying on you. You've told them, hey, I'm going to cook up some meat. You bring a side, we'll have a feed. You always tell people, if you're going to invite someone over for like a barbecue, if you're supplying the meat, you tell them to bring a side. Potato salad, some rolls or something. Because hell, you're doing the hard mahi. You got to make them do something, shit. Plus it's just a thing. You do one thing, somebody else does another thing, that person does another thing. Everyone does something different. Put it all together, it's a meal. But yet you only did one thing. But anyway, people are still expecting a lot of things from you. They're expecting, you've hyped it up as well. For me, when I hype things up to other people before I do something, that's where I screw up. Whenever I tell people, I'm going to do this or I'm going to make that, I've hyped myself up too much and I don't think I can live up to the expectations that I've set. And that's when I think it stops being relaxing, it's something enjoyable, and it starts being like proper work, like a competition almost. Like you're trying to exceed their expectations. But it's not about exceeding expectations. You just said you know how to smoke. You know how to smoke up meat. You've done it before. But somehow you just work yourself up and then bang. All goes to hell from there. And starts to feel more like a performance. Like actors and theatre people and dancers and singers, they can all do their thing when they're sitting alone in their home, singing away, practicing their lines, whatever. That's easy because you're alone, there's no judgment, and you're the only one that's going to hear or see this. But when they go out on stage, when they go behind the camera, in front of the microphone, that's when people start to choke. Because now there's people watching and you get stage fright. That's pretty much what it is, it's stage fright. You worked yourself up. Then now it's becoming so much, like when I mentioned the cook that nearly made me quit. I was making something for somebody else. I've screwed up things myself. Ribs and chicken came out dry and I've never had a problem. But that never got me down. What gets me down is when I've made something for someone and I know it's not good and I still serve it. But they say it's good, and it probably is to them. There's a few things that could be the cause of this, like where the pressure comes from. Wanting people to enjoy it is obviously the main one. You spend hours smoking this bit of meat up, and you just want people to enjoy it. That's why I do it. whenever I smoke meat and give it to somebody, I want them to enjoy it. I want them to taste like, I want their approval. Come on, that's why we do it. That's why we do it, because we want their approval. We want them to enjoy it. I wouldn't say we want attention. We just want to make good food. We just want to make something different that takes hours, that takes time, that takes technique, that takes practice. Now, I'm not saying baking muffins or cooking a steak doesn't take practice, because damn sure it does. Everything you do, if you want it to be good, anything you do to get good at it takes practice. But we want people to enjoy it. And if you taste something that's not going to be great, and you know that people aren't going to enjoy it, that's a downfall right there. I mean, also, it's not just about wanting people to enjoy it. You've been doing this for, a couple of years or whatever, a couple of months, and you're wanting to prove to people that you're getting better at it. That's where it's going to come from. Now, you ain't got to prove yourself to nobody. I'll tell you that right fucking now. Prove it to yourself. Believe me, I understand it firsthand. I know it better than anybody. You want to prove to other people that you've gotten better. But sometimes that's what you got to get out of your head. Are you doing this for you, or are you doing this for someone else? But of course, like, you see on social media, on Insta, like the influencers, what a good barbecue looks like, what good brisket looks like. It's all hyped up. I've had brisket before that looked amazing. Had the smoke ring, perfectly cooked, but it didn't taste great. It didn't taste bad, but it just didn't live up to the hype. I've also had meat from another place that didn't look like it would have good smoked meat, but damn, it did. Did not look pretty. Did not look pretty. It was just chucked in a container. It was takeaway. Walked out and ate it on my lunch break. But damn, it was good. And sometimes that's what it's about. It's like when you go to like a takeaway joint, and everyone in New Zealand knows this, like, shadow of a doubt. You go to a takeaway joint and it's still got like those old posters of like the different kinds of fish in the sea, and and like the All Blacks poster from 1993. Everything's faded, nothing looks good on the walls, and yet the food is really good, because they're not trying to make the places look like it's flash, and they're not trying to spend money to upkeep their store and all that. They're spending money on ingredients, on food, and perfecting their techniques. Granted, making fish and chips is not hard. On Chinese takeaway isn't too hard, but it's not easy either. It's the same with smoking meat. It's not a hard thing to do. Anybody can do it. But it takes somebody that's really focused and passionate about making it good. That really matters. I've had stuff that's been cooked in a bloody old barrel. I had for lunch the other day, last week. Mate of mine had a barrel smoker, literally was made from a barrel with rebar in there and holding the ribs like hanging on a hook. And damn, they were good. They were cooked perfectly. Right amount of smoke, right amount of heat, wasn't dry. And it didn't look pretty. Didn't look perfect like a store-bought, perfect Oklahoma Joe barrel smoke or whatever. But it doesn't need to be. It just needs to work. Functionality matters more than appearance. That's what I reckon anyway. Yes, granted, I got an offset smoker from a store. That's the pot calling the kettle black right there, I guess. That's the pot calling the smoker black. Damn, I'm funny. Notice that as well? Offset barrel pellet smokers, they're all black. Is it because they just go black from the smoker stuff anyway? Like, you don't see, you do actually, no, you get Weber kettles. You get a lot of different colours of those. They're collector's items almost. But most smokers are actually all black. That's a good question to ask. Probably because it's going to be dirty anyway, and there's probably a reason for it. Maybe it holds heat better, so if it's a really sunny day, it'll make it hotter, but I'll look into that. Because, I mean, you're not wanting to serve something average. You are making something, you are tending a fire, you are putting a lot of time and effort into this bit of meat. Hours. And you can't just check it midway through and see if it's done. I mean, you got the temp. You can check the temp to see how it's cooking. But you can't like slice it open to see how well it's cooked. And it's also not like a steak or whatever. You screw up the steak, you screw up the seasoning. Ah, damn, I screwed it up. Chuck it away, make another one. When you go to a barbecue restaurant, they don't have more meat. They can't just be like, oh, this is wrong. Oh, I'll get you another one. They pre-cook all their briskets, all their ribs, sausages, all that kind of stuff. And once they're out, they're out. They don't do any more. They can't just like slap on some more. That's like when you go to some smokehouses, they'll say, oh, we've sold out of the ribs, or we're sold out of this, because they can't just make more until the next day. So it's kind of a similar thing where you don't want to serve something too basic. You want to make it exceptional. And you got to kind of be honest with yourself. Are you doing this to feed people, or are you doing it to impress them? Granted, probably doing a bit of both myself. I want to feed people and I want to impress them at the same time. That's actually probably where I mess up quite a bit, is I'm trying to ride that line between impressing people and just wanting to feed them, wanting to serve something good. But then that pressure, what it does to your cook, like you're always over checking your temps, because you can't, like I said, you can't just cut it open and see the temp of the meat, the temp of your smoker. You're always over checking it, and you want to lift that lid and you just want to have a look. But hey, gotta remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking. Never forget that. And maybe I should have explained what that actually means. So when you lift the lid to have a look, you're letting out all that heat, you're letting out all that smoke, and then your cook just stops. Well, not stops, but slows down. So keep that lid shut unless you're taking the meat off the smoker or you're putting meat on. Or spritzing. Yeah, you can spritz it. Plus, you'll always be second guessing your decisions if you're always looking. Did I use the right seasoning? Nah. Did I check this right? Nah. Should I check? You're overthinking it. You gotta stop overthinking it. Plan it out. Whether you plan it out, write it on paper, write it down. Like seriously, write it down. I write down my cooks, what I've done. Every time I cook something, I write down what I did, what seasoning I used, what wood I used, and then I refer back to it. And then eventually, once I've locked down exactly how to do it, I write a recipe. What temp the meat needs to be at, what seasoning I used. That's when you have it locked down. And then when you change things mid-cook, that's also where it screws up, because you didn't trust the process. You stick to what you want to do and just ride it out. If you put some meat on the smoker and then you decide you want to change the wood type, like you've been smoking it with Pohutukawa wood, that's a really strong smoke, and then you realize, oh no, shit, that's chicken, I shouldn't have been doing it with that. Okay, I need to put on some oak, I need to put on something else. That's when you screw up as well. You're changing things midway. In that kind of scenario, just stop with the wood. Don't worry about putting on any more wood, because you're going to oversmoke it. Otherwise, you're just going to make it worse. Just let it be. If you realize it midway through, just stop. Just take a breath and just stop. It's done its job. It might come out good. You never know until the end. But if you change things midway through, then you're putting more pressure on yourself once again. And then that leads into rushing the cook or overcorrecting it. What's done is done. Write it out and let it be. The main thing is that pressure, whether it comes from yourself or from others, makes you cook differently and usually worse. People don't really work well under pressure. Some people do. Some people work better under pressure than they do when they're not. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I will be cooking something, or even just at work in general, and I'll be under pressure. Sometimes it makes me think quicker and refocus on what's important. Sometimes it makes me do stupid shit. So the reality check here What I've had to learn the hard way is that most people don't notice what you notice. Me, I'm the worst person for this. I overthink everything. But I notice things that other people don't, because I've seen the cook from start to finish. I know what I've done, what I haven't done, what I could have done better. But when I serve it up to somebody else, they don't know what I've done. They don't understand what could have gone right or wrong or whatever. Good barbecue to others is totally different than your standard, because you know what you want to achieve. You want to have that good bark. You want to have that perfect smoke ring. You want to make sure that the internal temperature is the exact to the dot, But people, when you serve that up, people don't look back and think, oh, that was trash. I've had some people's barbecue and they were stressing about the whole cook. The wood was too big and it didn't light and it wasn't. Stop. It's good. I'm eating it. I'm enjoying it. And that's what I've had to learn the hard way. Because you've got to remember is that people remember the experience, not the details. Yes, you can screw up a cook. My experiences are living proof that you can screw up a cook so much that you can't even eat it. It's not edible. They just remember being served up some smoked meat and it was on point. That's what they remember. That's what they'll talk about. That's what they'll tell other people. I've cooked up meat for other people and it's not perfect, but it's good enough. Gave it to them and then they asked me to do another one. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're your own worst critic. I definitely am. I am harder on myself than anybody ever will be. But sometimes I've got to take that into consideration as well. Am I just making this to prove that, oh look, I can do something perfect? No, I'm making this because I know that people will enjoy it. That's why I like to do it. You'll be harder on yourself than anybody else, but you don't need to be. When I cooked up some food for my dad, I just did it because I wanted to say thank you. It wasn't to prove that I can do this well. It was mainly to say thank you and give him something special. So you got to let go of that perfection, that bar. Cooking should be enjoyable. It should be fun. It should be something you enjoy doing. There's people that have been doing low and slow barbecue for years, competitions for themselves, for their family, whatever. And from what I've spoken to other people about, they still get pressured. Not every cook has to be perfect. You don't have to nail every single time you cook. Now, if you're working in a restaurant or a smokehouse, then yeah, it's kind of got to be perfect. You got to nail that every time. But for yourselves at home in the backyard, man, consistency comes from being calm, not from pressure. And they say, oh, pressure makes diamonds. Yeah, but pressure also makes rubble. If you're chill and you're calm about something and there's no pressure from yourself mainly or others, then that's when you have the best cooks you've ever done. Just trust your process of how you do it, because also the way I cook may be totally different to how you cook. I can tell you exactly how I cook my brisket, but that process may not work for you. You got to have your own process that's enjoyable, easy for you to do. My mate cooks brisket as well. He does it totally different to how I do it. Well, not totally different, like slightly different to how I do it. But basically, if I cooked a brisket and he cooked a brisket, we do things slightly differently, the way that suits us. Because the more you try to force a perfect cook, the further away it gets. I mean, damn, don't worry about everything else. Just cook for people, not approval. That's a golden line right there. Just focus on the moment, not the outcome. Yeah, you want to make it perfect. You want to make it look like all these videos and things you've seen online. You want to make it like how the professionals do it. How do you think they got there? Overnight? No. They practiced their craft. They did it in an environment that was good for them. And they got there eventually. Let the cook be what it is. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. You're cooking for people, not their approval. And I know you probably still will. I do. But if you have that mindset, just cooking to feed someone, that perfection will come. That's where confidence actually comes from. It's from calmness. It's from being chill. Even when I went to the barbecue comps, I thought it was going to be like other competitions that I've seen, and everyone's all under pressure and shit, and everyone's trying to make it perfect, and everyone's rushing around. It wasn't like that at all. Everyone was chill, willing to help out, pretty much how they would be at home, and that's why they come out good. That's where confidence actually comes from. Being confident in yourself, feeding for people. The perfection of that cook will come. The funny thing is, the cooks we stress about the most are rarely the ones people will remember. It's the laughs, it's the chats, standing around the smoker, that's what sticks. It's that moment. Low and slow was never meant to feel like pressure. It's meant to slow you down. So next time you've got people coming over, don't try to prove anything. Just cook. Before I wind up the episode, I thought, we're halfway through the year. The New Zealand Barbecue Alliance National Championship is still going. But I thought, I'm going to give a shout out to the top 10 teams in the current standings. So these are all the teams that have competed and are probably still competing for the National Championship. At number 10, we've got Carbon Addiction. Number 9, Smoked Out West. Number 8, Smoky Fish Barbecue. Number 7, got the man Barbecue Boy, still going hard. At number 6, Big IQ. At number 5, Joint Smokers, love those guys. Number 4, Meatloaf. Number 3, Bears Championship Barbecue. Number 2, Rum and Q. And of course at number 1 we got the boys that cook Cartel. I want all the teams to keep trying their best, pump out everything you got. I love seeing what everyone puts on. And sometimes there's people that are not even in the top 10 that really surprise you. So don't get too discouraged. Keep trying, go hard, do your best. So on that note, I think we'll leave it there for today. Remember to trust the process, be confident. If you're looking, you ain't cooking. Catch ya.